we're, we got what we got for. Curious, first of all, raise your hand if you've never been here before. Been here plenty of times. Oh, you're joking me, like 8 people. I know at least half. Now, before I bring on our panel, we're going to have a live panel tonight where we can ask them questions, we can pepper them. None of them would probably call themselves experts. Maybe they would, but for us, they are experts. The important tonight, what need?
Questions.
Oh, they do need silence, yeah. But what do they need if like they're to break their silence? What we're doing? Questions. So where do you think the questions come from? Us. Brilliant. Where do they come from? Us. So don't shy. Now here, who has no idea? Okay. Brilliant. And who knows what it is but thinks like they'd like to learn more about what an NFT is. All right. Now keep your hands up. Keep your hands up. Look around at everyone with their hands up. There is a question inside everybody with their hand up. So when there's that awkward social silence, I want you to look at the person with the hand up and say, you've got a question. Okay. My name is Daniel. This is Chris behind me here. We've been running these events since the beginning. Purpose, and that is for community, socialness, and education. That's actually 3 reasons. But we did begin with socialness, first of all, and we've moved into education now a little bit. There should be no selling, no pitching, no shilling. This is purely for us to learn, and then next week is purely for everyone to come and have a beer. So, have I covered everything?
Yes.
Yes. All right. So to split the night up, we're going to split the night into 2 parts. First, we're going to talk. What's straight now? I thought you. Okay. Side and all of these other sides, unless we understand it's an NFT and why should I care? A bit like crypto. Like if you can't understand how crypto is going to make a difference, then you're never really going to get involved in it in the first place. So the first half is just purely to discuss that. How do we use it in 5 years? Why will I care that I know about NFTs? So we've got a range of people. Some people are users. Some people are creators. And that's the first half of the night. The second part is investing. Do it safely. Where do we do it? Do we buy the NFT? Do we buy into the platform? All of these different things. I suppose, where are you going to come from an NFT? Whoever wants to go first.
Want me to go? Can you hear me?
See.
Barely. Okay. My angle's more the future of it.
Can we get your name?
Susan Brown. Yeah.
Where it's being held. I'm going to have them like to your chin.
There we go. Oh, much better.
Like stroke
okay.
it.
So my angle is a project I started about 3 years ago called Token and it's about measuring yourself when you're in a coherent resonant flow state. And that's what we're going to bring to the NFT market to really amplify the value of those NFTs, because it's like really signing your art with your heart and your soul. And that's how we're going to basically value true value. And that's why I think the whole NFTs are taking off, because there's real value in it. You just don't understand where it's coming from. But that's my angle. It's very much something I saw years ago and patented this over 3.5 years ago internationally. And we have a team in India that's building flow sensors. So you can now create NFTs with yourself.
Awesome. Thank you very much,
All right.
Susan. Who's next to you?
So my perspective in this NFT world is that I've been working on an NFT project myself. What I'm most interested about is the future, the different use cases. And what I see in NFT right now is just really the surface level of what's about to come. Web 3.0, DeFi, all that stuff is really what's it all about, and not necessarily just selling JPEGs.
Hi, thank you. I'm so sorry about my English. I'm from Argentina, so be patient, please. Yes.
Don't we think he has good English?
I don't. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. So, well, my name is Javier. I'm involved in this space since like 4 or 5 years ago. I love mining. I'm creating my own space, a gallery paying sats, NFT with sats. So that's new here. And also I created trading bots in future trading. So whatever you need, here I am for helping.
Thank you very much, Javier.
Sorry about it.
Hi, how are you? I'm Mauricio Madelat. Well, I come from a different perspective. I'm an artist. I'm creating a platform of a curated platform of artists. So I'm very interested in the NFT technology. I'm interested in the blockchain technology in general, but NFTs, I think that they could provide different, create value for those artists that through pandemics, for example, lost the way to show their artwork in general.
Okay. Thanks, guys. Give him a round. Sorry, guys. Okay, so I think we have to begin with that really simple question, because half of the people want to know, and I'm curious on everyone's different explanations. Let's see if we can get two of you on this, like in less than 2 minutes. How would you explain what an NFT is? Let's just begin. Super gauntlet. Now, I want to. I'm curious. Can just 1 second raise your hand if you would consider yourself new to crypto. Okay, that's actually not. Well, let's have a sit and make sure we capture these people. Just raise your hand in a minute. Okay, cool. So, your first persons to speak to those. How would you explain what an NFT is?
Well, you know what fungible means. It's like $1. If I trade you one, it's still more or less exchangeable. A non-fungible means it's unique. And therefore, in this case, it's a token. It's digital. And if you create it, you're basically offering the ownership. You own this unique asset. Also, anything in that unique token. It can be an image, a video, literally anything. And they're even thinking about, creating NFTs out of physical items, which gets tricky. But let's just stick with the digital. The idea is it's unique and it's your ownership. That's what makes it special than just something on the internet that can be copied, pasted, and transferred to anybody else and copied 1 million times.
Okay, let's stop there. People that put your hand up a minute ago, that makes a little bit more sense. Oh, well done. Give Susan a round of applause for that. So, anybody else want to give us technical perspective, or the how would you explain an NFT?
Yeah, she said it very well. She said it perfectly. Why it is important is because of its verification and security. And from its history, everything is on the blockchain. So there's a lot of security in terms of protecting and your NFT. And I have all these contracts are all on blockchain. So that makes it special.
Blockchain would work, let's say, work paper. Now, let's say any title that supports a property, supports a car or whatever, will be tokenized. That's my opinion. They will create blockchains will create in Matic, in Ethereum, where it was the Ethereum, but different coins will start creating their own NFTs or their own platforms of NFTs because everything will be tokenized. So,
The token thing. More. So I was whole there that paperwork will be replaced by NFTs.
of course, for me,
Anybody here do paperwork? Probably not. You're all like laptop only people, aren't you? Okay, we're talking to the wrong crowd here. Anybody know people that do paperwork? A lot more. How will an NFT? That's a big, bold statement.
in my opinion, for example, notaries. If, for example, someone wants to buy a building or apartment, in my opinion, I think that everything you made in notaries, papers, or whatever you do with government be tokenized. So, in one way, in one moment, every country will create their own token, and everything will be in blockchain, because banks all day or nowadays are using blockchain. They are not saying, in my opinion. So everything will be tokenized. When I'm talking about 10 years, I'm talking about 5 years, 7 years, I don't know. But it's a process in which we are starting to, I think, build in tokenization.
And those notaries, because like from the UK, we don't really use notaries. So we're talking about people that authenticate a document. You come to me, I'm the notary, and you two are doing a deal, and I provide the authentication that you are you, and that she's she, and you're doing this deal. And it's a digital on the blockchain.
Yeah, no parties like now with Bitcoin.
So they
Both version now.
okay, cool. Let's go on. Madela.
Yeah, that for example, he's talking about the event itself, that they're signing something. The interesting, there's a history about the building that, for example, in 20 years, 30 years, you're going to be able to confirm what was the way of building when, because that's what blockchain is, the verification of information. So with paintings, whatever, or smart contracts in general, that's what it makes happen. So the confirmation and the verification of what's going on with that special.
Understand it a little bit more. So for now, before I carry on, whilst I'm waiting for our very that was to you guys. So thank you, sir. as accountability because I'm going to forget that in 3 minutes. So we're going to come to Vadim first, but when I forget that, can someone shout it to me? Vadim, yeah? Okay, before we go to Vadim, he asked the first question. Can we give Vadim a round of applause, please? Thank you, Vadim. Somebody has to pop it first. Okay, before we go to Vadim, he asked the first question. Can we give Vadim a round of applause, please? Thank you, Vadim.
I'm confused where that came from then.
I'm also a ventriloquist. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Vadim.
Hello?
Somebody
I'm confused where that came
So
from
my,
then.
my question is about in crypto we have a different blockchains, right? We have Luna, Ethereum, Bitcoin blockchains.
Hello?
But NFT, do we need?
So my question
is about in
Just one
crypto we have a
second.
different. Can I go? All right. So NFT, do we have a different blockchains inside NFT? I mean, I want to create NFT. Which blockchain do I use, or it's an NFT blockchain?
Okay, can I go?
Go for it.
Uh,
Older than Mike, Vadim, in case you want to ask more.
The first NFT was created in Ethereum. It was CryptoKitties, something like that, yes. Afterwards, CryptoPunks. And the fund is all involved in the blockchain of Ethereum. Afterwards, Matic, for example, CryptoSpress, that is in UK, is a NFT platform for artists. It's Polygon. And another blockchains can adapt different ways to create their galleries of NFT. OpenSea, for example, they use Ethereum, for example, but they don't have their own blockchain. So it depends. It's a platform or a blockchain. And in this case, you can use at this way. I think that Solana is creating also NFT. Yes, Solana. And I'm sad. So I'm sad. So let's do it.
Can I?
I mean, eventually all
Hang
of
on,
them.
before we come back, you got a quick question on that?
So, for example, if I have NFT on Binance Wallet and I want to send it to someone, I need to use Ethereum blockchain.
Yeah,
Ah,
it depends on what the underlying chain is. You won't have to think about that. They are going to be pretty interchangeable.
So we're talking about interoperability.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we, well, let's use a mic each time, just if you're speaking there.
Okay, so it depends on the platform. There are several platforms. It's like you have Rarible, OpenSea. There's even one platform that at Nook in for here and now, and they're using a new crypto that's Tesos, for example. So the thing is that you have stored that NFT in that platform, and once you want to transfer it, you have to transfer it through that platform. But as you said, it won't matter afterwards. It will be universal on the same blockchain. But now it's like a store. You want to add that store, and you have to keep it in that store as well.
Let's just go to Susan first, because I think she wants to talk.
Well, I was just going to say, I think the lines will get blurred. They're already creating solutions to just to get from one to the next. So that's why, as a which one, because that will be done behind the scenes. But it is true to
What? Or iCloud. Other platforms are available. And so if we have a file and it's in iCloud, I can move that file from iCloud to Google Drive with that. So, but in the early stages of Ethereum network to the Solana network. But what was said earlier, the future where we have more we'll just be able to move these NFTs between different networks, they think about it. Now we move a file from Dropbox to iCloud to Google Drive. Is that a good enough analogy? Yeah? Does that kind of help answer the...
I think that one of the best assets now for, say, creation of NFTs is Flow. I don't know if you know Flow.
I do, but
No, okay,
in
Flow
a
is
different-
an asset in which is involving UFC, MotoGP, NBA, so huge brands, huge sponsors. So that Flow is very good blockchain.
Just the last question to future, we can see a one global network blockchain. But they will be talking by Solana, Luna, Ethereum. They will be
All of them will use ERC20, so you can swap them.
but then I have another analogy. We have today mess up, and they're not gonna be connected. Why do you think it will happen in the crypto? While the different blockchain will be
It's a good question.
For example, Matic, Polygon, you can swap, and so it's the same as, for example, Binance with if you swap Binance with which was the one that swapped in, I don't remember the name. Sorry, buddy.
I think his question though is
How it's going to connect?
no, not how. Why will they? Like his point is Telegram, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. They're separate. We don't have a message saying why will the blockchains work? Why will the block platforms?
Yeah, I just don't think that it doesn't make sense in comparing that to blockchain, because what's the purpose of moving a message from one platform to another? You can copy and paste it, yeah, but you don't have, it's like it's not necessarily the same thing. A message doesn't person because for people, and if they can easily tease between platform to another, then more people using that platform. So it just makes sense.
So I want to just come back to the question I said earlier. Before NFTs kind of came around, I'll come to you at the back now as well. Sorry. One of the times we were here, we talked about the tokenization of assets in general, which has been talked about by many blockchains. Is NFTs just another catch-all term that's become popular or is it different from the tokenization of an asset? Would you do you understand my question or not? So before NFTs, like I'm going back to I'm just using XRPL as an example. So on the XRPL ledger, they talked about tokenizing any assets. And I'm trying to understand how is that different today to what an NFT is? Because an NFT is a tokenization of anything. Is it just one of these things where the words become synonymous now when people understand it as that? Or is the tokenization of an asset on the XRPL ledger, as an example, different? Anyone understand that enough to answer?
I mean, what comes to my mind is that assets tend to be thought of as physical things. And, NFTs are a way of storing the value of anything, including a non-thing that is of value. It's not necessarily a house or some
song.
Exactly. Things why I'm saying this is NFT allow us to store non-things of even greater value, like art, real true art made with your heart and soul, is really finally getting its recognition with NFTs. Whereas before, artists, programmers, nerds, I kind of think of the blockchain as revenge of the nerds.
Yeah.
All right. I really think the nerds are going to save the day. That's why NFTs are so successful in my mind and in my heart, because finally there's a way to recognize the value of the creator for what they did.
Beautiful. Thank you very much, Susan. Can we have a round of applause for that? That was lovely. What's your name, sir?
Bob Newell. I came here to Playa 6 weeks ago, and I'm not leaving. When it comes to the interoperability of the different platforms for the NFTs, how are you going to, at some point, come back to the fees of the different platforms if who's the lowest go with that one platform?
Right. Isn't that good for everyone?
Well, but then other
Yeah.
platforms like ERC.
Oh, but there's platforms being built on top of that.
Well, I know the
That
Matic,
are-
yeah.
So it's really an interesting question. Who cares? It makes it more competitive. It makes the best and most affordable win. That's empowering about how better than the other. Just make it better, and the system will automatically adopt whatever is better, cheaper, fast value.
Perfect. Thank you.
Also, which we see that time and time again anyway, resistance. We had a question down.
What I think of like blockchain and NFTs and everything. What, can you guys hear me? Okay. Wow. Like the way I viewed blockchain and NFTs is that they're basically just like this decentralized backend to process transactions. So like instead of money, we have cryptocurrencies. Instead of having a government or a bank control it, it's decentralized and we can interact between one another. And then NFTs is like the same thing, but for asset, and instead of it being like currency, like my thing without having to go through like a third party, whatever, and it's just like a one-to-one transaction. And then line art, and it definitely is a great solution for people selling art or any online asset, because like the barrier to entry is pretty easy. Like you send me the money or the crypto, I'll send you this digital asset. It could be done instantly. But in reality, it's a solution for so much more. It's for like transactions between one another. And I feel like everyone's like clouded with this idea that it's like NFTs, it's a JPEG, it's a whatever. But it's like he's right. They're popular for. Do you think people to for like their intended purpose or for like the real solution they could provide, because it's not like an easily transferable asset? Like if I'm selling a house, you can't just send me crypto and I email you the house, you know? Like
I'm just, if I could, it's just the way it starts. It's just the beginning of the game. This is the easiest pathway for this to come out and then be used for all those other applications. And even the stuff that we're working on, we recognize that gaming, NFT gaming, that's just how we're, it's, and then it will mature, and then more and more real applications will start to blossom from there. Birth of something that will just about, like he was saying, touch somewhere. And gaming, just like gaming is what a lot of the computer industry and a lot of the all the high speed.
I mean, that makes sense. But actually, to also touch on the point, like difference between tokenization and NFTs. And I almost feel, and not like to discredit anyone in like the current NFT space, I feel like associating the word NFT with just online art is like doing it a disservice. Like now there's a differentiation between tokenization and NFT, but in reality, like you tokenize something to turn it into an NFT, and it doesn't need to be online art. But now thinking of NFT as this like hype over like it like, and not to discount that it is a real solution for online art. You know what I mean? But like, do you think that it makes it harder to transition into like real layman's?
No, don't lose the dilemma. We just keep going and let the market unfold.
Scott, I come in here. I hear both sides of this. If where you're coming from is where I was thinking before, like the word NFT, because the minute it's like it's gaming and it's art, yeah. But I understand where you're coming from as well. It kind of doesn't matter if in 10 years we call the NFTs of land registry titles and I don't know marriage certificates. They're still NFTs, but they might have a different name, and that's because society just moves. Like in society, we group so. If we had a wordsmith here, they say, "Well, actually, it doesn't mean that." But if in society we collectively, then that's what it means. So I just wonder if it's the. I see both sides. It matter, like whatever it will.
Explain to everyone what it is. It's just too hard. There's an infinite number of people, and whatever they want, right? I mean, I'm working on stuff that, so I'm not going to distract myself, but most people don't understand NFTs. They're hyping them. I'm like, a real problem. With my life, I've over and over. It's how it is. Everyone goes crazy.
I created an NFT. So I had a photo shoot, really dope photo shoot, and then I digitized.
Can you get closer?
Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. So I said I created an NFT before I really knew even what NFTs were. I took a photo shoot that I did, and I digitized it, and I ended up selling the artwork for $4,000. So my question is, so artists, like, do you have any like disadvantages and advantages of being a dealing with an agent or just uploading everything to your OpenSea? I know that when Binance first released NFTs, the agent helped push my NFT on that platform. So have you had any experiences with agent? You need an agent to get your
He was talking. I think that not every NFT is artwork, and a lot of people think that it is. Using it to speculate, to make money, and it's just turning into a space of speculation as well as if you were trading Forex or something else. And that is changing the whole game for artists, you know, because a lot of people is just getting in. You don't have an agent or have a good marketing campaign or something, it's going to be very difficult for people to get to know your artwork, because what they do is just go to the rarity.tools, look for the upcoming that's what I'm thinking. or I'm creating a platform of curated artwork, because I think that we need those spaces to showcase only curated artwork from people that were not in that scene, in the digital scene, but want to get into that scene now and showcase that. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say.
So basically, you're saying that an agent I mean, it gives you some benefit because they can market for you and put you out there more.
Yeah, an agent or a good gallery, a good marketing campaign or something like that, you know, like being part, for example, I was part of a launch of a artificial intelligence gallery in Silicon Valley, and I was part of that. So I got to sell a couple of NFTs because I was part of that project, you know. But if you are not part of that project, it's like what people do is they go to Twitter, to the Discords, etc., and they look for if there's hype in it. And if, for example, you could be a great artist. For example, we are talking about Beeple. He sold for 69.3 million. But what we don't know is that this guy had been working digitally for 5 years, creating a piece of artwork every day. So he had created a huge community. He was well known and he started selling. So that's why Christie's took him and they sold that piece of artwork.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Furu, did you want to answer that?
Yeah. Well, my idea of art prices are speculative too, right? Like it's not related to, it's just NFTs are speculations, but so is the art world. I feel like different art holds different value, depending on the backings that they have, the history. But the same case is for NFTs, and you need, when you're selling and promoting it, if you don't have exposure, it's going to be very difficult to sell NFTs. It's not simple as just putting it in. It's selling. You got to be a celebrity. You got to have ties to a celebrity, a community, people that are willing to support you and push your artwork. And yeah, that's what it comes down to. It's all speculative.
Cool, thank you. Susan, you want to add to
Yeah,
that?
I just want to triple what these guys just said about that.
Triple it.
Yeah, let's triple it. That for sure, this is what I'm seeing too. I mean, I'm really just every day just looking at what's going on out there, and the teams. You know, it's usually not an individual, usually a team that has been working on something for years, especially in the gaming field. They have a huge following, like 100,000 people already on board, following them on Discord, on Twitter. I mean, these guys just didn't like just take a picture and then throw it up there and call it NFT and have it sell for millions, right? They really are developing teams, and they usually have some background, and they've got some. Those are the ones that are leading the way and watching them for everyone else. But this is not intended to just, you know, make an NFT out of anything and, you know, and just like put your head in the sand and hope that it goes somewhere. I mean, it is about getting on board and seeing what other people are doing as well, and then finding what your core value is. What's your true value in this space? And, you know, that's something that another use case we didn't talk about. Are taking off, and I'm happy for them because they're paving the way for the rest of us.
Thank you very much. So we have time for one last question. This lady's had her hand up for a while. Melanie?
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to add, I'm super new here and I don't know much, but I just wanted to add about the keys, that they're very important for patents too. That are super important. Okay, my question is, I was wondering, what do you do in a flow center?
My favorite question. Okay, so we have an amazing team that's measuring the heart, your mind, your basically your skin. You can measure science. You can measure when you're in a flow state, whether you're an athlete or a speaker or a gamer or anyone, and a musician. Imagine if you're listening to your favorite artist, a song, and you get chills. Like it really does it for you. We know that now. And now a token, an NFT, is created out of that flow state to proof of coherence. Let's say you create your art. This lady over here, if you're an artist or a photographer or a creator of anything, and you really are in a coherent flow state while you're creating that, and you're wearing a flow sensor, that creation is now tagged your and soul with your true self. That's the keys to
Saying here, then.
yeah. Integrity, proof of resonance, proof of coherence, just new ways to authenticate and in a true way to your
wearing a heart math sensor that's detecting coherence, and in that moment where I'm feeling it, I'm producing NFT. So if I'm an artist, or someone over there is an artist, could they see a sea of NFTs being created for people listening or viewing their work, knowing that effectively all this appreciation is turning into moment?
Yes, and that's actually something I patented internationally in 2018.
Ooh,
which
nice.
is to tokenize the value of you in a high state of flow. And when anyone else does it for you, like a musician or your athlete, if you watch your favorite athlete score or win, they get into a flow state. Imagine now inspiring your fans to flow with you.
Nice.
These are the new kinds of NFTs that are going to make these current ones look like small potatoes.
All right. Okay. A round of applause. Thank you, Susan. What I would love to know from each of you now is, what is the thing you want to leave people with? We're talking about use cases. We're talking about things we can do. What excites you? You've got a minute each. What excites you about NFTs that you'd love to leave our newbie audience and our middle audience with something to think about? Farouk, you're up next. Or you can wait if you want, if someone else wants to take it.
So what excites me about it is just like, I'm a very optimistic person. Like I want to think good in humanity. And what all this allows is to really just give power to the people. Like you're going to be yourself deciding where your data goes. You're going to be yourself deciding like where you want to put your money. And that's simple. You want to put it in a bank, but do you really have control of that money when it's in a bank, right? So it's like you're able to verify identities, you're able to verify value, and it just makes it easier for everyone equally, like around the world.
Okay, in my opinion, NFT will change the world, as I said at the first. Blockchain is changing the world. The best thing I think that is very good for NFT is value, first. And second, how people that no one knows can show the artist or whatever they want to sell in an NFT and start being like with audience, let's say. It's a way like an internet, so people can start learning about NFTs and start showing what they are doing. So it will change the world in that way. That's my opinion.
Ooh, thank you, Javier.
And okay, I'm not going to repeat what these guys said. I'm going to go from the artist perspective. I know that now the next panel are going to talk about how to invest. I would like you to think about NFTs as a way to invest in artwork, but artwork that has got value. Because it's like, for example, a painting, like you said, there's some speculation. For example, Damien Hirst, there's a lot of people that say that once he's dead, it's going to be a bubble, that nothing's going to matter. So what I'm saying is that a lot of people is going to invest in NFTs, going to those projects, upcoming projects, and buying cyberpunks or monkeys or sharks or whatever, but they really have no value as art. So I could entice you to look to do some research, and all of the platforms, Rarible, OpenSea, Ikenung, etc., and take a look at the real artwork from artists, because it could be at the long term a very good investment.
Brilliant. Everyone, can we give them a round of applause for our first panel for tonight? Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Okie dokie. Cool. So before in a minute, I want my next four to get ready. I know you know who you are, so please do that. But I'm just curious first. Who's this place? It's called Zitla Siba. Who's never been to Zitla Siba before? If I can see your hands. Oh, come on, 3 people. Who's never been here before, guys? So, like, I really want you to just appreciate these guys. They're working their asses off. There are 100 people in here, and we've never had 100 here before. And if you've ever run a restaurant before, you appreciate that whilst you do want lots of people also brings with it lots of orders. So they're really doing their best. And for the are new to maybe Mexico, like I came from the UK, we don't tip in the UK. And that was a new experience for me coming here. And a couple of times when we've had these events, these guys get no tips. And if you know what it's like to work here in Mexico as a person serving, you don't get a lot of money. So this isn't a plea. This is just a bit of information to share, because not everyone knows. So at the very least, when people leave, if you can pay your bill, because some people don't, probably because they forget, no judgment. But then if you do pay your bill, and if you think these guys have worked hard to try and serve you tonight, it's really nice if you just leave a nice tip for them as well. So I just wanted to share that because it's new for some people. And you will find on your tables, if you're feeling particularly kind, there's a QR code on your table. And this is because me and Chris forked out, well, actually Chris did, a ton of money to buy some kit so you can hear us. So if you find it in your hearts to donate, you can put PayPal on here, Venmo, things like that. And we do appreciate it if you have value, because these events are free and we do them out of the kindness of our hearts. And so if you have got value, we appreciate a donation as well. So without further ado, we're going to bring up our next speakers. So at the end, if we can give them a round of applause, we're going to be talking about investing now. If I can have, please, Chris, Sawai, Cody, Khalif. Give them a round of applause, guys. Thank you. Sawai, how are we doing? Okay. Cody, thank you, man. Chris. So the second part of tonight is the one that I hope now we can have a little bit more on. It's like, now we know a little bit about what the NFTs are. We're looking at where are they? How do we make it? Because with speculation comes risk. So I'm curious, first, like we did before, if you guys perspective, where you come from, do you trade? You've been building them for 10 years. So share your name and just kind of like your background of what's relevant for this NFT space.
Cool. My name's Khalif Harold, aka Crypto Khalif. Find me on YouTube, anywhere on the interwebs. I've been in the crypto game for about 5 years. Investor, trader. I invest better than I trade. And I love talking about crypto. I love helping onboard people. I love helping people understand the value of things like Bitcoin and why we need it, because once you understand that, you go down a rabbit hole. And NFTs are just one chamber of that. But that's my background.
Cool. Thank you very much, Khalif. Who's next up?
Hi, everyone. Is this okay?
Yeah, sure. Go for it. Just keep it close to your chin. Remember, stroke it.
This is Sawai. My name is Jimmy. Sawai is my hacker name. And I've been in the space for a while. I've been working 15 years for Morgan Stanley and Bank of America. I'm mostly in data analysis. And for the past 5 years, I work as a intelligence officer in Canada, serving Her Majesty the Queen. I'm no longer a part of that.
So I just a bit closer to your mouth.
Yeah. And so it's a good market to be in right now, especially if you want to make some money. But I'm always cautiously optimistic because NFT, while you can make a lot of money, it's also a control system because everything is tokenized. So it's good to be in the market, but you always have to have an exit plan. So I hope find me sometimes the exit plan because I'm very interested to find out.
Cool. Thank you very much. So Cody.
Hi, I'm Cody. I am the Ascended Trader on Instagram. I've been trading Forex and crypto for a while. I got in Bitcoin and crypto late 2016. Before that, I tried to buy drugs online. I didn't really know what it was at the time, but
what drugs?
Ecstasy, if we're being very honest. So, and I now run a coaching business. I'm a trader. I'm into crypto. I have an NFT project going. Susan, that was up here, is my best friend. Over at her house all the time. Yeah, I love crypto. My passion is freedom and assisting as many. I want every single person to experience full freedom and sovereignty. I think every one of us really deserve it. And so every do is centered around freedom. And yeah. Anyway.
Cool. Give him a round of applause here.
Freedom! Yeah, I love it.
All right. So we're going to be coming to questions in a minute. I've got a couple of first ones to begin with.
You skipped me, bro.
Chris.
It's all good. So my name is Chris. I am from Atlanta, and just quick 30-second deal. So I actually work in crypto for similar to like BlockFly. You pin your non-custodial wallet, and they make a pretty little dashboard. I do some marketing with them. So, but earlier this year, really around January, NFTs kind of hit my radar, and I had one of those "holy shit, this is going to flip the whole world upside down" kind of moments. And from that point, I couldn't sleep. I would literally stay up all night researching NFTs and stuff like that. So that's how I got here, and pretty bullish on the long-term impact. But there's definitely a lot to deal with in the.
Let's we've got views on whether between the two people here. Well, actually, I'm just curious who is interested in some of their investment portfolio making money in NFTs. All right, so like a third of the audience. So then explain your different views on if you were to make money in the NFT space, which direction would you be coming from?
Hey, just real quick, can you raise your hand if you've ever personally bought an NFT? Okay, cool.
That's how he knows that it's a good time to buy still.
So go on. So you're, I'm just looking for different perspectives. Like if someone said, hey, I want to make money in NFTs, let's just park for a minute why and risk assessment and all of these things. I'm just looking at the different angles within this word. NFT is huge. Like it's massive. We can trade it, we can buy it, you can go on platforms, you can buy the tokens. There's so many different perspectives. So like which is the one that is the safest for you, do you think, that you would care to share?
I guess I'll start. So people, and you guys probably get this question all the time, like, hey, you know, I see people making shitload of money, hundreds of thousands or whatever, millions of dollars off NFTs. Like, how do I do that too? But I think it's important to kind of take a step back and talk about like what are NFTs. So NFTs are very similar to what happened in the 2017-18 ICO bubble. So there will definitely be a bubble at some point. But if you look at the bubble and if you bought Bitcoin or Ethereum or a couple of the other blue in 2018, you're sitting pretty happy right now. So I think that's one of the things to keep in mind. Now, the issue with that is, in my opinion, and everyone can kind of talk, there's really only a couple projects that would be considered blue chips at this point. Everything else is kind of a shit show, and you're kind of just investing on speculation, which is okay because some of them will turn out and some of them will make you very rich, but a lot of them are going to be just a total bubble and kind of blow up in your face. So, but the difference between a Bitcoin and Ethereum in 2017 or 2018 and a CryptoPunks or a Bored Ape Yacht Club or a VFriends or any of these quote unquote really high dollar blue chip NFT projects are, the entry point into some of these projects could be 20 or 50 or 100 or 400 grand. So, you know, that is really difficult. Whereas, you know, you can buy 20 or 50 or $40 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum. So when people are thinking about getting in, you know, it's kind of a gamble right now. So I would recommend find a project that you think is interesting and try to get in and try to flip something real quick, and then live to see another day and try to find another project that you might be interested in.
Can I chime in here too? Actually, so I do agree that most of the NFT market is speculation, and that you're almost gambling if you buy most NFTs. I'm really excited about the gaming sector of crypto. You guys might have heard that mentioned in the last panel. And there's this game called Star Atlas that's coming out. And Star Atlas is this, imagine the most futuristic Star Wars type video game built on blockchain, where you can go and fly through space and mine different minerals on planets in this game in space. And you can actually make money in the game that you can then transfer to real money in the real world. You can pay your rent. And no, it's built on Solana. And so, so this game is a little ways out. They're gonna have a mini game coming this fall. But anyways, right now, their way of fundraising, you can actually go to the staratlas.com. And later on, gaming really is going to be the way that I believe the whole world adopts crypto, because it's already been proven. If you guys have heard of Axie Infinity, that's another game where you can battle these little monsters that are NFTs. You can breed them, create more monster NFTs, and sell them. You can earn in the game if you win your battles, and then you can transfer that. There's a small love potion token that you earn in the game, and that's traded on Binance. So you can make real money. So anyways, long way of saying, yes, most of the NFT space is gambling, but to me, something like this that has this massive use case, and just every one of you go on staratlas.com, watch their trailer. You're all going to be just so just kind of pick. Are going to be able to be out in a year, like that to me is like a basically guaranteed investment, nearly. So
guaranteed investment. Be careful with those words. Obviously, I just want to say here it's financial advice. We're also not the tax advisors either. Okay, so what would you do? You know, you've got some money. You can only spend it in the NFT space. What are you going to do?
Not financial advice. So coming from a traditional investor's background, working with hedge fund managers and so on, I'm interested in working products. So I'm not really interested in these games that are promises in the future. It's going to be awesome, nice graphic. I don't really care about that. What I do care about is a working product, the product that works and it's fun to play. It's really funny. And the great thing about NFT is you can buy one of the pictures or characters or anything you can imagine and place it into different type of games, and you can actually earn dividends. This is what I want. I want dividends. And then I want to be able to compound on my dividends and make more money. Again, this is a life-changing moment, but you have to be cautious.
All right. Questions? Give me some. Or would you just like my view?
I won't get ketchup on the mic. Similar to product research, what would you say is your best strategy for finding profitable NFT projects?
Did we hear that?
Okay.
Yep.
I'll speak to it from my view, but I believe Chris might have more knowledge on the research part. He wants to know about researching, how to research and what to look for, basically. Is that correct? Yeah. So with NFTs, if you got in early, there were very few options for you. So these people almost were like guaranteed to get a profit in hindsight, right? So now the industry is flooded. You don't know which one to choose. If you bought a CryptoPunk, think about it, you were going out on the deep end. There was nothing to really say this was going to be profitable. Nobody was boasting $1 million returns off of an NFT at that point. All we heard was CryptoKitties clogged the Ethereum network in 2017. And before that, very obscure NFTs. The first NFT was created in 2014. So to actually look now in a crowded space, you have to look at a lot of different things. First, like Chris said, look at what you're interested in at first, right? And the second thing I would say is, what about the community? Because I'd say like 80% of this is the community, the money. Let's not get it twisted. The money is the biggest thing, but what drives it is the community. Because if you go on Twitter, you see people, they're flexing with their NFT and their profile picture and things like that. And Twitter's considering whether to have a verification for the profile to get a check and all that stuff like that. So you have to kind of research the community. Are there celebrities behind it? Is it going to have a push? Somebody like Gary V, he's totally dedicated to the success of his project. You know there's not going to be a rug pull on that. You want to look for like the jockey and not the horse. But myself, I'm more into investing in the platforms and the projects like Axie Infinity, because these things are changing the game. People in Thailand and the Philippines are making a living wage playing this game, Axie. And that's why the token itself has exploded, because the utility has exploded.
Can we just stop there, Khalif?
Sure.
Then? When you say you're looking at the platforms for NFTs,
sure.
Give us some examples. So you're, instead of buying, so earlier on, Cody talked as an example about building a space army, yeah, with
Right.
10 battleships.
Right.
You're talking about buying the platform within which they're on. So give some
Right.
examples.
So Solana is a great example. I didn't know that was on Solana. I'm excited now because the development that is happening on Solana, the layer 1 platform, is incredible. And the projects, the quality of the projects are incredible too. So I'm going to run out and get a bag of Solana tonight because I heard this guy. Solana, things like there's some things called, there's a platform called Super Farm, which deals with gaming NFTs. There's a platform called Eternity, which deals with NFTs, and they deal with celebrities like Muhammad Ali. They just released a big soccer player. I think Messi, Leo Messi is on this platform. But there's these platforms have tokens. So I'm an investor in that way. Like I don't really have an attraction to the Bored Apes or the CryptoPunks. It's just not my thing. I wish I did.
So as another example then, like Rarible, which is a
Rarible.
platform, has the Rari token,
Right.
RARI.
Correct.
So as an example there, you're more interested in buying the Rari token for the Rarible platform, which has the NFTs on it.
You got it.
Yeah?
You got it.
Cool. Just whilst we're here, if you three want to give one other platform so people have an idea, what platform
it's a
would it
bunch.
be?
So when I think about platforms, it's not blockchain. The platforms is the company who's making these games, right? So for example, like Gala Games is a perfect example. Gala Games wants to be the theme of all games. So that's a platform. So back in the days of Apple App Store and apps, do you want to create an app yourself, or do you want to be the app store of Apple? So buy into the platform, you can buy the Apple stocks. So that's how I would envision a platform is. And to come back again, myself being a value investor, you always have to look at what is it like right now. It's like a gold rush. Yes, it's true. historically speaking, in a gold rush situation, the people who made the most money are not the ones who go and dig for gold. It's an anomaly, right? It is the one who sells you the shovels, the food in the village, the one who does the transactions. So you want to be like those people selling the food, be a part of the platform. However, if you are really good with art, if you have an amazing story to tell, you can check out DCL Blogger on YouTube. He's a very, very good art investor. For example, case in point, Ferocious, he has NFTs, but he merges NFTs with real life situations. So he merges NFTs with sneakers, for example. You can buy an NFT online and you can get a physical sneaker. Then you can brag about it with your friends and the sneakers who possibly go up in the future. Same thing with Uniswap. Uniswap was giving out socks, and those socks are worth a lot of money nowadays.
Socks or stocks?
Socks.
Socks.
Unisocks. Yeah.
Uniswap gave out socks.
Yeah, and then it becomes a collectible.
Physical socks.
Correct. And it's not worth a lot of money, right? So what I'm interested.
Anybody here got a Uniswap sock? And they don't want to put their hand up. They're like,
so look for
no.
something that's out of the ordinary, and you can benefit from it, not just pure gambling. That's my
Okay,
tip.
cool. Anyone else want to add their last bit in? If you were by investing in a platform, what would it be?
I just want to give not a specific platform. So there's a few platforms on Solana's, whatever you call it, ecosystem. Solanart.io. That's a great place where you can find NFT collections, art collections. The biggest thing that I'm finding is that's like really blowing up. People love the trading thing, like trading and collecting, and they like rare stuff. Like when I was a kid, it was Pokemon, and it's crazy to see how many. I don't know if you guys have ever seen, like, there's some Pokemon cards now that I had like 10 of these when I was like 9 years old. That I find these cards are worth like $50,000. My mom just had given it away to the whatever, Goodwill or whatever. So anyways, finding NFTs, there's a lot of drops or a lot of collections now where their NFTs, they'll drop 8,000 of this piece of art, and the rarity is different for each piece. Like one might have some cool glasses that only 1% has, but like they're saying, just find something where, if you're going to invest in art like that the jockey, right, that the person behind the project is really doing well. And one other thing I wanted to mention, I'm a trader, and the reason why I can trade successfully, I can make consistent money from almost any market, is because I'm able to get in tune with my higher self. I meditate a lot. And so what I would say is just find, if you're going to invest, the best way that you can invest and ensure, or do your best to ensure your success, is to meditate before, get into a peaceful state, and just ask yourself, should I buy this or not? And just that subtle yes or no. I find that for me, that's like, people call it instinct, whatever. It works really, really well for me. So, as long as you have that inner value, just know, finding your own inner value, you will attract the wealth from outside. So as within, so without. Just had to mention that.
Thank you for that, man. That's how I make some of my hardest decisions as well.
Yeah, I would like to ask, from the minting side, do you think that there is a disadvantage of minting in Ethereum, Solana, Polygon? Is there a disadvantage or an advantage while minting in some of these cryptocurrencies? I'm not talking about the fees. It's like from the exposure showcasing point of view.
There's no like right or wrong answer to this question, right? There's a couple pros and cons to both platforms. So, every blockchain will be coming out with their own NFTs. And I think people get caught up on like what NFT means. Like, don't get caught up on the name, don't get caught up on the blockchain. For example, some pros of the Ethereum ecosystem is Ethereum is clearly the dominant smart contract blockchain, and most likely probably one of the dominant, if not the dominant blockchain for the foreseeable future. So a lot of the high value projects are built and sold on Ethereum because Ethereum is the least likely blockchain to go down and be gone. So for example, if you spend 50 grand on an NFT on Solana and Solana dies next year because it didn't make the cut, well, then you're shit out of luck, 50 grand from your NFT. Whereas if you buy a $400,000 CryptoPunk and that's sitting on Ethereum, then you have the best chance of that surviving.
Well, I want to actually add to that. So I will say, I am in context, I'm a Solana fanboy. But the reason I'm a Solana fanboy is because it works. See, Ethereum can only process 1,500 transactions per second. And the problem with that is that when you want to buy any NFT, almost any time, especially when there's a drop, there's all these transactions going through on Ethereum. Time Magazine did a drop, I don't know, a few weeks ago or so, and I was trying to get in on it. But because the drop itself only cost $300, but Ethereum gas fees got up to $20,000. $20,000. So there's no way I'm putting into that. Solana can do 400. Right. So yeah. So it's like, so with Solana, they actually maxed out. The blockchain did shut down a month ago, but that was because they were attacked and because their transactions were maxed out at 400,000 transactions per second. To put that into perspective, Visa can only process 24,000 transactions per second. So Solana can do, yeah.
And it's also just worth noting here. I'm a blockchain fan, but I'm a big fan of Solana. But Solana also is still in beta. That's right. Solana is still in beta. So like, even though it had a fail the other week, like it's not officially even fully fully launched. It's good to just remember that, because all these layer one chains that are coming through there, they all have different uses. I think Ethereum will still hold that flag for a long time. Even if it's not the best, it's the most trusted. Totally, yeah. And we know when it fails. And I find it really funny. A few weeks ago, I was trying to do a transaction and the gas fee shot up, and I saw a 10,000 fee. And I was like, fuck, man, what's happening?
People just lose their money as well.
Now I know. Yeah.
People
true.
lose their ETH, just gone.
Okay.
I'd like to add to what you said earlier. I know you're running a business, you're an artist, it's great. But you have to think about your own value proposition, right? Not only yourself, also your customers. I know you don't want to talk about fees, but fees are an important aspect of transaction. You have to ask yourself, does your customer, are they willing to pay $200 every single time to mint the NFT? So if that can go into your estimates for your business, then that makes sense for you.
All right. Cool. So we're going to keep moving on. I want to, have we got any questions before I ask about wash trading? Any questions? Any questions? Remember, guys, it comes from you guys. These panel are here for you. So I'm curious, how do we know all these NFTs that are being bought and sold? It's not just wash trading. And if one of you can explain to people what wash trading is. He's going to explain it.
Short answer is you're never 100% way to know.
Hang on, first, we got at least one lady here who doesn't know what wash trading is. Okay. Wash trading is?
So wash trading is like bullshit trading. So if you have NFTs, there's a small supply of them. So like if you look at the price of Bitcoin, if the price of Bitcoin is 58,000 right now, that's not the price of Bitcoin. That is the price of the last trade of Bitcoin. So the price constantly fluctuates, and there's enough buyers and enough sellers all at one time buying Bitcoin so that everyone kind of agrees about what the price is at the time of a transaction. When you only have a few, like for example, with your art, if you only have 100 pieces, then there's not hundreds of thousands or millions of transactions happening every single day. There might be like one or two max, right? So what wash trading is, somebody comes in and they could do it to a friend, or they could own two pieces, and they basically put a bullshit price on it. So if they see one of your art pieces and maybe they're trading for half an Ethereum or whatever, I'm making this number up, and they come in and buy one for 25 Ethereum, what they're attempting to do is try to set the market price at 25 Ethereum and try to trick everyone around them into thinking that the price of your art is actually 25 Ethereum, and then they'll dump some out. It's kind of like pump and dump for NFTs.
Okay, the people that didn't know wash trading, anybody still stuck? Are we good? So we keep selling it between ourselves for more and more and more and more and more money. You come along and you now see a price for 100 Ethereum, and you think that's the price. But really, we're just bullshit trading between ourselves.
That's not exclusive to NFTs, though.
No. Sorry. Yeah. Wash trading is wash trading, like, technically it's illegal in a regulated market, I would guess.
Kind of. Yeah, technically.
So, but obviously, and here we have that fine balance. Now we know what wash trading is. Bearing in mind, NFTs are not them. From a safety perspective, how does one try to make sure it's not wash trading, if it's even happening? What's your views on it? Or is it impossible to work out?
Again, it's kind of hard to know, but like, if it quacks like a duck and walks like a duck, it's probably a duck kind of thing. So, if you go from 0.5 to 25 overnight and you didn't blow up and become Instagram famous or something, then it's probably a bullshit price. But there,
look for how many people are bidding. Right.
Right. You can look at the quantity. What he's saying is you can look at the quantity of transactions going through. You know, if it's 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, 0.5, and 25, you know, obviously it's probably bullshit. But it's overall, it's probably, this isn't a very, it's not a huge problem in the space. There's obviously some cases of doing it, but I think people make accusations of wash trading without understanding why the prices of things skyrocket. For example, the shoes he was talking about, they're called, and the price of them was like 0.5 a couple weeks ago, and now they're 13 Ethereum, which is like a $2,000 to $50,000 difference. And somebody uneducated who hasn't looked at it might say, "Oh, well, that's bullshit. That's wash trading." But when really there's certain value that people are driving to that. And again, you can agree or disagree on whether you think 50,000 is a ridiculous ass amount of money for a shoe, but the whole wash trading, I think, is a very, 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 very tiny problem in the whole space.
Good answer. But the key part you just said in there, though, is to actually take the time when you find the NFT to go and look at the historic price trading of that NFT to actually find out how did we get from 0.01 Ethereum to 20. And if you see that jump and it's not someone big and it's not a big community, then maybe. But there are real world examples where, like, what did you say the shoe's called? Artifact?
Yeah.
Artifact sneaker.
Yeah. And I kind of want to add one thing. And a lot of people, this took me a while to figure out. But like once you understand kind of high level what NFTs are and then how you perceive the value of an NFT, it kind of helps you understand, okay, what are some projects that I might be interested in? So there's a couple big factors at play. First of all, there's a lot of crypto rich douchebags out there that bought Ethereum or Bitcoin at $20 at Ethereum, and now it's $3,500. So a lot of these NFT projects are just ways for crypto billionaires and mega millionaires to kind of flex on each other, right? So like buying a CryptoPunk in some circles, especially among crypto nerds, is way cooler than buying a Lambo. And and then you can even kind of derive from that. It's like, okay, well, how is this art, that you might sell for $4,000 digitally, but like, if somebody equally as talented as you in real life painted that painting, only sold it for. So there's a bigger trend at play too, as well. And that it kind of goes back to Instagram, right? Like if you look at the number of Instagram influencers and things like that going out and taking pictures, they're doing it a lot of times for clout. And I'm not shitting on Instagram at all. But what I am saying is a lot of people are deriving values from NFTs because a lot more people can see them flexing their CryptoPunk than they can a Lambo, right? When you drive a Lambo, if you got a Lambo Plata Carmen, I mean, there's 100,000 people here. A maximum 100,000 people are going to see you. That's if every person lined up in the middle of the street to watch you drive your Lambo down the street. Whereas if you got a CryptoPunk and you're Kim Kardashian or somebody and you got 50 or 100 or a billion followers, everyone on planet Earth can see you flexing your digital asset. So that's how a lot of these, art pieces and flex pieces are deriving a massive, massive values, is because a lot more people can see them. So if you're using it for clout or flex or signaling or whatever word you want to apply to that, the scale on the digital side is a lot bigger than in real life, like a roll. That is right.
Thank you very much. Thank you very
I'm also a gamer and a long-term investor. My question to you guys is, because I'm an investor, how big do you see the NFT market, vice versa, in comparison to the blockchain market? Can we speak about $200 billion the next 5 years or more? It's speculation, I know, but we need a number because NFT is speculation in this point, but I want to invest now or not in 10 years.
Let me jump in and then you guys could piggyback off of it. In the last 30 days, there's been $2 billion worth of volume on NFTs alone. That's just ridiculous, right? This world that we live in, it's not going to reverse. It's going to be more digital. In 10 years, are we going to be less digital? No, we're going to be more digital. But so to say to that is, it's going to be 10x from here. From whatever you feel like it is right now, there's just only up from here. Now, that sounds like moon boy talk and like unrealistic. But when you look at the space and adoption, we're less than 1% penetration of any market you look at. So these things are definitely in a bubble. People will definitely lose money. 90% of all companies and business ventures don't succeed. So you have to look at it like that, right? But I also want to take it kind of more practical, because I think we're getting in like the technical, and it's like Star Trek here, and a lot of people are eyes are glazing over, right? So you can invest in different ways in crypto, like in NFTs. Like we said, you could buy the platform, the token behind the NFTs, right? So you don't have to bet on one NFT winning or not. But also there's domain names. Like you have your name.com. You can buy your domain name .crypto, .bitcoin, you know? So, and that is an NFT. So if you had the bright idea, oh, I'm gonna get Coca-Cola.crypto before they get it, I think that might be a good idea, because somebody's gonna want that, even if it's not Coca-Cola. And that itself is an investment, right? So I bought CryptoCaliph.crypto. I don't know who's gonna want that, but it's my baby. And if you want it, you're gonna have to send me some ETH. If you go to check this out, you could go to Unstoppable Domains. You pay one time and it's yours for life. As opposed to hosting now, you have to pay every month, right? It's BS. It's going to change and flip the whole model. There's a whole bunch of examples like that. I did marketing for New York Real Estate Coin. And what they did was they tokenized $100 million projects. So you can buy $20 worth of this $100 million building. This way they could collateralize much faster in a group way, kind of like what a startup thing, I forget, Kickstarter type of thing. When you group collateralize, you know, you do it much faster, right?
Yeah,
and
there was
risk.
what's the name of that sports guy that tokenized his 3-year contract?
Right, I don't know his name, but that's
he got basically
excellent.
his 3-year contract on day one by everyone buying a fraction of his contract.
Exactly. And they can benefit off of that.
Yeah, well, he
as
gave
it
them a
goes.
return, and he gets like what is that, 10 million in like
Right.
immediately.
So circling back to what I was saying, that when you buy that tokenized version, those are NFTs. It's just, you don't need to know what they are. You own it. It's your piece. Those are NFTs. But you can have, for example, to think outside the box, if there's a new swanky restaurant opening in New York, you can buy a table, and that's your NFT. And the people that are served there, you get a percentage of everybody that's served at your table. And perhaps just like these NFTs, the Bored Apes, they're unique. Maybe you have the VIP table. Your table NFT is worth more because people spend more money at that table. Ooh. You see what I mean? It goes really deep down the rabbit hole of what you can do with NFTs.
Cody?
Yeah, I want. So another thing to know is that we're just getting started. So if you guys ever seen, maybe some of you had one, but those really big block cell phones, right? And you had to like. So
my dad had one of those.
Rad. Okay, so that is where we are in the NFT space, the crypto space. Okay, and now look at what you can do with your iPhone. Shout out to Mrs. Dougal. My first grade teacher said I would never have a calculator in my pocket, and I have a supercomputer in my pocket. Actually, but there's this new thing coming called smart NFTs. So just imagine this in a gaming setting and use your imagination to see how else this could be applied. But one of these spaceships that I bought, right? If I use this in the game, just like any other video game you can play, where you can upgrade your character, you can, my ship, I can add a skin to it. I can. So if I'm playing in this game and I'm earning experience with this ship, the ship itself is going to upgrade and change, or maybe I'm going to upgrade it myself and buy an NFT skin that I'm going to combine with my NFT ship. And so what the NFT has to be is smart so that it can change, because most NFTs
It's almost twice as exponentially adopting crypto as we did adopt the internet in 96. Who remembers the internet in 1996? Right? I remember
was 2 years old.
I remember my dad being asked to work a website, and my dad came home and he was like, someone asked me about a website today. Like nobody wanted a website in 1996. Whereas you think we're all like ahead. Like this is the nerdy, rich, like want to do stuff crowd. Like most people haven't got any concept of crypto at all. That's how early we are. Don't forget that. Carry on, Cody or Soe. I interrupted there. I got excited.
Robert, to go back to your original question, how big the market is going to be? It's relative. So if you think about $200 billion in the context of what? For example, the Congress just printed another $3 trillion next week. So they do it every so often. So the $200 billion is going to be worth how much in a couple of years? So these are kind of questions you have to ask for yourself. So from where I'm coming at is you have to think about it in terms of ratio and in terms of unit of measure. So how big is the NFT market? It's going to be from all the esteemed guests up here. It's going to be everywhere. And everywhere? Or is it going to be pervasive in the future? Right? So these are the words you have to think about. If it's everywhere and pervasive, how much is it going to be? It's going to be worth a lot. So if you're making investments in this space, again, life-changing moments, cautious.
Okay, let's hold it there for a second because we're 3 minutes over and I really try and respect time. It's going to come to you in a second. So we really try and be on time because some people don't like leaving in the middle and stuff like that. So I'm going to wrap it up now. But because we're talking about money and because this is about education, we can't talk about money without risk and without being careful because like if there's one industry right now you can lose all your money in, crypto's it's somewhere at the top in terms of how easy it can be. So I would love it if you guys can just share just your last pieces, but I would love it if you can include what you do or what you would say to just make it a bit safer for people. Like maybe how you deal with risk or how to be careful. Chris earlier talked about looking at, Khalif talked about the history of trades. So just a minute or two each, and then we can wrap it up with just what do you want to leave people with if you can include some being careful in there.
I would say first things first is don't all right, I have two views. One, I only like trade or invest into NFTs money that I know that I'm okay with losing. Okay. I know that, and ideally that's not the end goal, but as a trader, as a successful investor and trader, I need to not have any emotion attached to my decisions. So just make sure that for one. For two, I want to say, invest money you can't afford to lose, but I mean that you don't do that. Invest money that you're okay with losing. But I actually believe just what the point he just said about the U.S. printing $3 trillion more. I actually think your money is worse off in fiat currencies at the moment. To be completely honest with you guys, I have probably like 80% of my net worth is in the crypto space. So I have enough money to just pay my bills, but actually I pay rent now in crypto. So to stay safe, just invest money that you're okay with losing, but have the end goal and don't do your research, Don't just throw it in.
Cool. Thank you very much. Cody, who's next? Khalif.
I'd like to leave you guys with know what the hell you're putting your money into, right? Like that makes sense, right? And the place to start, this whole thing started with Bitcoin. Why is Ethereum there? It was solving a problem that Bitcoin didn't. Why is Solana there? It's solving a problem Ethereum didn't, and so on. But I would say, to piggyback off of what he said, and it's so many different choices you can do, look for scarcity. You'd be hard pressed to find something more scarce than Bitcoin right now. And people are hodling it for dear life. It's off the exchanges. There's estimated 4 to 6 million lost out of the 18, 19 that exist. there's only 2 million more that will be created, and that's going to take 100 years. So before you look at NFTs and all of this stuff, look at why Bitcoin was created. Look at why Bitcoin was created. Period. That's your homework assignment for today, is to look at why the hell Bitcoin was created in the first place, and why was the first Genesis block tagged with the text of what was it, the Wall Street Journal or something? London.
It was the date of a London. It was the date of the Times in London, and it
2008, another bailout.
Another
right?
bailout, second bailout.
Second bailout, right? And then you start to understand, and then a light bulb goes off. Oh, this is not just computer games and internet money and magic internet money. We need this. We need this. It's freedom. It's a whole bunch of things I can't say in 2 minutes, but that's your homework. And then you start to understand everything else. And then your wallet will thank you in 5 years. Nobody's ever lost money on Bitcoin that held it for more than 4 years. Nobody.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Chris.
Yeah, just quick closing things, I guess. You know, NFTs are like startups. You know, nobody here, as far as I'm aware, is a startup investor. Like, these things, most likely you're going to lose on a lot of them. The game is like place a couple bets and hope that a couple of them do good. For example, I've placed bets on projects that went down like 99%. Shit you not. And I've also placed bets on ones that, you know, did the exact opposite and went up 10x. So, you know, take a couple small bets knowing that you're probably going to lose more often than not in the beginning. And over time, you'll get a little bit better. But these are startups. Like, you're not supposed to be good at predicting NFT projects, or you'd be very, very rich and probably not here. So just keep that in mind.
Cool. Thank you very much. Soy?
So the question, why are you investing in NFTs? Is it because you want to gamble, or is you want your financial freedom? If you want your financial freedom, there's so many different ways in crypto. You don't have to put in 50 ETH to get a picture, right? So coming from a, again, traditional investment background, having worked in financial institutions for over a decade and government institutions as well, always go back to basics. Learn how your emotion works. Have that kind of self-awareness. Have this kind of discipline. For example, you can read amazing books like Peter Lynch, One Up on Wall Street, Benjamin Graham, Value Investing, and combine it with crypto. It's the same mindset, right? And then also you have your typical books like Next Door Millionaire and Barbershop. Those are amazing books you can read. Stick to basic, and with crypto, again, invest in crypto hardware wallet. It's the best investment you can make. And then if you're a beginner, learn how staking works so you can earn that dividend, baby.
It's all about the dividend. Give him a
all
round
about
of
the dips,
applause.
baby. He's all about the dividends.
Cool.
Baby.
Come on, for everyone, all of our panels here, these four guys, for everyone that showed up, please just give everyone a big round of applause, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. We're a little bit over. I want to really give a big thanks for everyone who is still here. Thank you so much. Cheers, guys. Every single week we meet up. We meet up for either for these discussions where we have a microphone, or next week we have socials where it's just here and you can come and meet up and have a beer. So if you've enjoyed tonight, if you wanted to come back again, then you're welcome to come back to both events. The next one for this will obviously be in a couple of weeks. Just 2 seconds, guys, and then you can all go. I want to give a really big shout out to the Zitla crew for serving 100 people tonight. Can we give them a thanks? Cool. If you are on Instagram, if you can tag with Crypto Del Carmen, that would be wonderful. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming to the Crypto Del Carmen Crypto Dinner Club 2021. Enjoy your night. You're welcome to stay till 11. Good night.